Welcome to Motor Mouths. Boy, do we have a show for you today. I am so excited to be here, Rutledge Wood, alongside Kyle Petty and our very special guest. He's the current driver of the 95 Toyota. Matt DiBenedetto is in the house. Yes. Matt, it seems like a pretty quiet week. Why don't I just lead with some other news that's been going on in the sports world?
Yeah, it's been a quiet week. Nothing too crazy going on, right?
Oh, hold on. I'm just getting this now. Wait a second. Nope, I was wrong, guys. Some huge news yesterday. Matt, next year, is going to drive one of the most iconic cars in all of motorsports. Partially, we believe, as a tribute to Kyle, the Wood Brothers, number 21 Ford. Congratulations, man.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. It's been a crazy, well, not only a crazy day yesterday, but a crazy couple of weeks how this all came about.
I mean, you've taken us on what I would like to call an emotional roller coaster all season long. And for this to be the happy ending is just, I don't know if you could script a better ending.
Yeah, I don't think you could. Take us down that trail, because you believe in this team, you want to stay with this team, and all of a sudden within 10 days it seems like, see you guys, I got this deal. But they changed drivers at the same time. But your deals came together so quick. Walk us through how this deal came together.
Yeah, so it was only a couple weeks ago. I laughed. I was saying my wife, Taylor, 2 weeks ago was crying, but in sad tears and panic. And then yesterday is crying in happy tears.
That's
all a 2 week window. But no, it all came about that quick. So the Bristol week is when I found out that I wouldn't be able to return to LFR next year, and but I, loved working with them guys and the opportunity. And so I'm like, what in the world is going to happen? And just sitting there, I have no idea. We could just go perform and do what we can do together. And then we have the Bristol run, almost winning. But crazy weekend there. And then a couple days later is when I got the first phone call to come down there and meet with Wood Brothers team.
Who called you?
So it was.
Come on, we want
man,
details.
I got to think of the whole timeline. It was a collective group of calling. I can't even remember the timeline actually of how it all worked. So I got to recall that. But yeah, it was crazy. And I talked to Eddie and Linwood through the process, and some of the folks with their alliance at Penske, and went down there and met with all of them and had the first talks. And it still was, there was a lot moving and shaking in a short period.
I mean, let's give credit where credit's due. The reason that this move is possible, and a huge hat tip goes to Paul Menard, because Paul Menard coming out this week saying, hey, I'm going to retire. And the coolest part, I think, of the story, and I read this through Nate Ryan and Dustin Long and what they've been writing all week, is the fact that he said, hey, I'm going to step down. And they said, well, who should we get? And he said, Matt.
Yep.
What does that mean to you?
Yeah. So crazy. I've always said, a big priority of mine's always been gaining the respect of your drivers and everybody around you. And man, it's been cool to get to know Paul just as a person over, as a friend over the last few years. And he's such a genuine, cool guy. People may not get to know him. I've been lucky to get to know him personally, and how just genuine, down to earth he is, and complaining about how hard it is to change oil on these new vehicles and all that stuff. That's Paul Menard. But it was crazy to get that kind of suggestion. I don't know how you tell somebody like that thank you. It's just never enough, because I mean, he's impacting my family and my entire life and everything I've worked for him and that whole, that whole group. It's just crazy to go to one of the most iconic, legendary teams in NASCAR, and for him to give that endorsement.
Yeah, this is what fascinates me. And I brought it up this morning on the phone call when we were talking about this, is you leaped out of the 32 without a net. There's no net. You went to the 95, and there was really no net there. You had to create a net. And when things begin to change over there, you're fortunate and blessed and end up in the 21. But none of those moves are lateral moves. Every one of those moves is a move up the ladder. We don't see that anymore. You either come in at a Gibbs organization, you come in at a Penske organization, but you've done it the old-fashioned way. You've let your talent speak for yourself. How gratifying is that?
That's the cool part that we were talking about. Me, my wife, my parents were actually mentioning it, but my parents were almost sad, of like, man, what could we have done different? When just a couple weeks ago thought, man, this journey could be over. And I was like, listen to them and Taylor. I was like, this is a tough time, but one, everything happens for a reason. Through my whole career, every time a door is closed, a better one's open. And that's just been being blessed and things happening, beyond my control. And two, I was like, I would never, ever change the path that I've had to go about. That is old-fashioned to get here, because it's made me who I am as a person. And I would never be able to appreciate it as much as if I hadn't been able to go through it this way, and this journey, and learning how all these different teams, operate, with like being with Go Fast Racing, them giving me that opportunity, even back to BK, then Go Fast. Those guys are like family to me still. And then the same with LFR. Every one of these opportunities is like a dream come true, and keep climbing the ladder.
What's wild is to see how kind of things have sort of rolled out in the celebrations of so many different people for you. Dale Earnhardt Jr. had a tweet that was so cool that really compared you to somebody who basically walked on a college football team and eventually became a Pro Bowler. And I thought, man, that's a really good analogy for that hustle, that those leaps of faith that Kyle was talking about. But he was just one of it. Like, there was an outpouring. And really, let's talk about it. Not only did Paul give you the nod and say, yeah, this is the guy that should go in there, but a guy wins a race, and I walk up to him, and the first thing he says is, I'm so sorry, Matt DiBenedetto. And I can't think of another time in sports when someone's been like, I really hated beating this guy. But that's the impact that you've had, not only in the sport, but also on these competitors.
I know, that's the crazy thing. I couldn't believe after, this was a cool moment here and chatting with Denny, and how much respect I have for him and the things he said to me. But that's very odd to get that kind of a comment, but it's amazing to get that even these guys feel my passion in the journey.
Watch that Hall of Famer.
Yeah, you do know, and let me ask you this, and it's a strange sport, okay? It's how you keep that, and I think you've gained so much respect inside that garage area. So my question is, then when you start winning races and beating them, how do you keep that? How do you keep that? You know what I'm saying? Because right now they look at you as a threat, and they look at you as a competitor, but you're not up there banging doors with them every week. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a different attitude. I mean, it's a different thing, man, when you step.
A lot of times you're not banging doors because you've been beating people.
Yeah, that's true.
Like your record this year.
But how do you keep that? How do you keep that?
Yeah, I think you just always keep doing the things that we've been doing and I've been doing as a person, is always racing people how they race you. But you got to earn your respect. You got to prove yourself. I've always known and never felt entitled to anything throughout this journey. I've always known I got to earn this and earn these guys' respect the old school way. So I keep on always applying that to because these guys are veterans and people that I'm lucky to be racing around. It's important, and you get that not only on the racetrack gaining their respect, but off the racetrack. That's impacted my whole life and career, and this is just one of the many examples. Denny's impacted my career, Harvick, DW. There's many guys now, Paul Menard. There's so many drivers that have had Dale Jr. and all his support. The list goes on and on of how it's impacted me in my life.
That's cool.